So today we will focus on the monetization strategy for the apps that have different kind of subscriptions. And before we jump into the conversation, I would really love to introduce myself and my colleague Berk. So me and Berk, we are business development managers here in AdMob team. Just FYI, I'm sure everyone kind of knows what AdMob is, but still AdMob is a special tool that helps you integrate different ad placements in different applications. As easy as that. I don't want to go to different details, but in case you want to find us on LinkedIn or you want to chat with us on Gmail or anywhere, please find us, reach out to us. We are really friendly and open, as you can see. So first of all, I think there comes a question, why do you even have a conversation about hybrid monetization? Why do we even discuss different kind of ads that can be embedded into your application? And I can really explain why. Basically, after COVID, especially, there has been different trends in the app world. And I can really say with the data that we internally have and watch that now we have entered the stage of hybridation, or as Taylor Swift calls it, hybridation era. I really love that naming. Berk is laughing at me because he knows I love that kind of vibe. So we are in hybridation era, meaning we try to maximize our revenue streams as much as possible. You can have one revenue stream, but it's also great to have two or three. So that's why we are really seeing some great examples of combining different strategies with subscription, with integrating different ads. And later I will explain why it is important. So we have some kind of generic data, that let's say 5% of the users that you have pay for subscriptions in your app. Disclaimer, I know that these numbers can be different for different apps. It can be, I don't know, 50% of the users that you have are paying for a subscription. It can be 95, it can be 10, 15. I'm just giving you an example with generic data so you can understand the logics behind our idea. So if these 5% make the purchase in your application, meaning subscribe to your apps, basically only 5% generate the main revenue stream that you actually have in your application. Why don't we think about the rest 95, or what suits you best in your application? You know your numbers yourself. Why don't we think about monetizing non-paying users? I think it's really crucial, especially with the changing of the world, like the market itself, to find new ways to monetize your application. Let's be honest, we are all here not to just have fun. We are looking for some revenue that can be positive for our businesses. And I think it's all about the balance that we seek for our applications. We have subscriptions, we monetize our users, and we have non-paying users that are basically don't ever gonna spend a coin in your application. I'm so sorry to break it to you, but there are some users like that. Sometimes it's even me when I don't see the point of spending money in their application, but it's all fine because we can still find a way how to monetize them. And the way that we kind of think is the best one is basically integrate ads in your application, but for non-paying users. This is kind of the balance that I'm talking about. We have in-app purchases subscriptions, and we have ads integrated. And this is what we call a hybrid monetization strategy that can be really beneficial for different applications. I don't want to do something like name dropping, but I do that. You can see that there are some apps that mention here that have subscriptions. And later I will also give you a really nice case study with the application that has a subscription that monetize non-paying and even paying users. It's kind of like a hook, so you're staying here all focused on the speech that I'm giving to you. Now, I think there comes a question, how can we monetize predicted non-paying users such as Arina that is not going to spend any money in your application? There are a few steps to follow. The number one is basically choose the ad format that really suits your style, your UX, UI, and not doing the overwhelming, not creating an overwhelming situation for your user when you're all surrounded by ads. Again, the balance is going to be the main word for my session today. It's all about the balance. If you're new to ads, always try to find maybe the best UX UI complementary ad format type that will suit your style. You know, where the user makes I would say, maybe it's a bit of a weird word, but like a stop in your application in the user flow that you have. So basically, two things to remember: choose the best ad format type. The second, choose the timing where to embed your ad format type. It's really important for you to think about these two things before doing anything new in the application. Second, I already told you about the opportunity to monetize non-paying users, and this is all really working with Google Analytics, Firebase. By the way, we provide different kind of consultations on that. If you wanna, like, again, reach out to us, we can help you with that. And what I'm trying to say here, we have really easy examples just to show, not to overwhelm you with a lot of information. For example, let's say I'm a user. I'm using your subscription application, and you have two options whether to monetize me or no with different ads. The first one, if I made a purchase, you don't show me any kind of ad. The second one, if basically if I don't pay for any subscription, you can monetize me with basically show me different ads. And that's another waste of user for you, which is a good thing. Not only I want to add that we can monetize based on the behavior, but for example, you're eager to try different tests in different locations. You can also think about the strategy of your application where you can, I don't know, choose between tier 1 or tier 2 countries and choose the best place where you can start with smaller audiences. I think as I was talking about steps, the second step is don't be afraid of testing your monetization strategy. Don't be afraid to do that. And what is most important, don't forget to measure success. Because when we do all of these tests and everything, sometimes people get too involved into different like segmentations and, you know, like trying to choose the best formats. Sometimes it's better to stop, look at the numbers that you have, make different assumptions and understand whether you're going to proceed with that or not really. Continuing with our step number 2, I will stop at this slide a bit more. I really want to tell you about a booming trend that is happening in 2026. It's called drama shorts. Off top, you know, I'm really using a lot of Telegram channels, communities and everything. And sometimes I see people saying something about drama shorts and a lot of other, especially like in the gaming community, founders don't really know what is that. So drama shorts is basically a new trend, especially in APAC, with different applications showing different episodes of drama series. This is something like TikTok, but it's basically one series with the same logics where people can watch different episodes. So today, based on the experience of a person named Gabby, let's imagine I'm Gabby, okay? I will show you how strategy with a subscription plus monetization can work. Here we can see a user flow of Gabby watching an episode of the drama. So she's kind of like a bit hooked to that drama. Then the second day, Gabby comes back to the app. She's still hesitant if she wants to pay for the subscription that allows her to watch different series. While she hasn't made that decision, she decides, she sees an app open, which is basically an ad that she sees when she opens an application. And between the series, some of them are free, she can see a different kind of interstitial or full screen native ads, which basically help us as publishers to monetize Gabby. One day, Gabby starts being so hooked to that application that she spends money on this particular subscription. In that case scenario, we cancel all the ads that she was seeing before, except for one rewarded ad. For example, in that kind of format of an application, rewarded ad is something that would be suitable because it's kind of a gamification. It really influences the retention because she spends more time in the application. So even in that case scenario, when she pays for the subscription, she can see rewarded ads, and it's not going to harm application revenue in any way. Someday she decides being mindful about her time. She decides to start living her offline life, and she doesn't want to watch any drama shorts anymore. So that's when she cancels the subscription. That's when we can again introduce her to different ads, because we know that from time to time she will still come to the application to watch some free episodes. So this is again the balance that we can basically see in subscription apps. And the next slide that I'm showing to you is a simplified version of what I have just already mentioned. And I really want to highlight the point that all the ads are integrated in the natural stops between the episodes, which is again a good point to place an ad. When Gaby exits to the main page, she also sees an advertisement. When she enters the application, she also sees an advertisement, but also disclaimer, never put an ad in the first user experience when a person just enters the application. So basically, these are the things that you have to look at and transfer to your application. You know better where you have natural stops, where the user doesn't, do some particular activity in the application. So that's where you can think about integrating a particular type of ad format. In that case scenario, it's going to be interstitials again, but it can be native banner for you and other ad format types that will work. A real case study that I really wanted to share with you, which is publicly, officially open. There is an application called Shortmax, and we can see that this application has subscription and paying users that subscribe to watch episodes. But at the same time, there were a lot of users who has never made any kind of purchase in the application. And thanks to integrated ads, we can see some good numbers appearing here. 80% of the users who were not paying before start generating revenue because they are shown ads, which is a good thing. Check. Number two, the number that we can see here is 20% of the average session length has increased. Also, we can see some upgrade in retention and average revenue per user. I don't want to go into many details. If you see, if you want, you can make a screenshot of that. But again, I think this is all about the balance that I have already talked before. So the things, again, to focus on: the timing, the ad format type, segmentation of your user. Number 4 is basically don't be afraid of testing different kind of approaches here. Step number 3, I'm not sure if it's kind of like relevant for you, but just in case I decided to show, if you have not only one app in your portfolio, but like 2 or 3 apps, don't forget about the opportunity to keep the user in your ecosystem. So if you show different ads, you can basically redirect them to other applications that you have and make the user stay in your ecosystem, which I think is kind of nice, so you don't let go of the user and still it's valuable for you. Step number 4, where I will switch off my microphone because my colleague Berk will continue, ad quality, and I really believe this is something that we maybe need to spend more time on. So Berk, please, you can start. Thank you.
Yeah, can you close that?
Yeah,
cool.
Fine.
We're side by side, so sorry everyone. Thank you, Arina.
Yeah.
That was a great explanation. So switching to the topic of ad quality. So generally, the biggest concern about ad monetization is user experience, right? especially during the COVID era with hybrid gaming, hyper casual gaming, and then hybrid casual gaming. In the gaming industry, the ad ecosystem was used heavily. What does that mean? That means they were making a game that was like you play the game for 1 minute and then you watch a 1 minute ad, you will play the game, another ad. It's just basically a bombardment of ads that you would be seeing, which kind of gave the ad industry or ad networks point of view a bad reputation, let's just say, which we're trying to avoid at Google. At Google, we've always tried to be avoiding disruptive ad features. What does that mean? That means the X button that you can't close, you click it, it doesn't close. It brings up a landing page, you close a landing page, and then they make you wait 10 seconds more, and then you click it again, and then again, etc. It just keeps going on. It's increasing your ad revenue, but it's definitely decreasing your retention, which we want to preserve at all times. Non-functional ad controls. There's a lot of gameplay that looks like a game, but it's actually an ad. You played the ad and then it pops up out of nowhere. You don't know what you're doing. And then there's forced redirects. As I said, you don't want to go to that web page, or you don't want to go to that app store, but it forces you to do so, leaving a bad experience of the app, which leads to churn, basically. So this year at Google, we did a study with Deloitte last year. We're in 2026 now. I keep forgetting. Last year, in 2025, we did a study with Deloitte about ad quality. In this ad quality study, we had 7,000 gamers. I know most of you are not gamers, maybe all of you, but it kind of mimics the user experience of users, what they expect. So if someone's happy in a game, they could be happy in your app as well, just based on retention. So we've done this with non-gaming companies as well, and we saw the same outcome. So it says gamer here, but don't get caught up into the name of it. It's just that generally what we're seeing is people generally tend to be more churning, 6 to 7%, after they've been exposed. Like even after a single exposure of a bad ad leads to 6 to 7% of churn. 20% of app abandonment after one interaction with a disruptive ad, meaning a user can't close their ad, et cetera, then it basically forces them to uninstall your app. And then 3 times more disruptive ad features of an end card rewarded ad can increase quitting rates by 3 times more, meaning that if the rewarded ad, something that is a rewarded ad, as Arina showed the different ad formats, is an ad format that you basically tell the user you can watch and then reward something in return, like a premium feature that you normally have to pay for. You can get a taste of it. So what does that mean? Normally, if your subscription allows, let's just say you're a photo editing app. Normally, if it allows you to do, your subscription allows them to do 100 photo edits per month, let's just say, you can just gift them one with a rewarded ad just for them to get a taste. This could be in health apps, you can get, I don't know, for example, one specific information about a specific diet or a meal with a rewarded ad that you would normally be giving with a whole package. You can give a taste of it. So ad quality, by the way, if you're interested in this study, I have this as a whole. If you can add me on LinkedIn, I'll be happy to share the whole study with you. Or I could share with Murat, and then Murat could share with you. So through our study, we've identified that ad features most commonly attributed as disruptive ad features by gamers are the ones that are of lack of control, meaning you don't know what you're doing, you're being redirected back and forth. Deceptive close buttons, you're trying to close the ad, it's not closing, etc. These are what affects users the most. So ad quality is not an option, but it's a critical it's critical to user outcomes, meaning if you want to prioritize ad revenue, which a lot of people do choose to do, it will eventually turn out to a bad retention rate. So we do have, at Google, we do have specific controls that we allow you to have, meaning expected ad controls. Users, when they close an interstitial ad, it closes straight away. Interstitial is the ad in which you see in between screens, for example. It's a 5-second ad, and then you can close it. The users know when they're going to leave. The users know when the X button is going to come up, and then as soon as they click the X button, it closes, basically. On rewarded ads, we don't have any forced redirections, like the App Store doesn't pop up back and forth. And then sometimes we have playable ads that users know it's an ad and they're playing, and then there's a timer when the ad will close. So all of these, if you don't have these, basically, you can see the sentiment: 19% for unexpected disruptive ad controls, the experience worsens. 17% for rewarded ads that lead you to the Play Store back and forth, or App Store, leads to a lot of quitting in the app. Increased churn rate increases exponentially in these scenarios, which in the long run affects your revenue. So high ad quality, on the contrary, high ad quality actually increases your ad revenue, also increases in retention and LTV. So if 72% of gamers continue playing the game with a high quality ads, 72% of them don't get affected in any way. 20% of the gamers will play more with high quality ads when you compare it to low quality ads. 20% of your users will stay in your app, and 37%, over 2/3 of gamers, tended to be more high spenders and be a more high quality ad experience led them to be more casual gamers and use their app more. So a user-first ad design is what we give importance to at Google. It's business imperative, and we have seen that just by integrating these easy steps, you can increase your ad revenue, basically ROAS of a user, lifetime value of a user, exponentially. So thank you for that. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah, we have some questions on chat.
Yeah.
I'll try to ask. The first one, do Google pay for ads shown on the application? Yeah, I think we can say yes, right? Google AdMob service that we're talking about. The second question is, we also have the same data regarding the utility apps. Which data I couldn't understand. Maybe the data with your case study. It could be.
I didn't get the question, honestly. Like, can you repeat that? Like, which data? Can we share the data or what?
The same data regarding the utility apps, but I also couldn't understand which data. That's why I'm asking.
About, I guess maybe they're talking about eCPMs for utility apps.
Maybe. Sophia, could you please give us more?
I think we are not allowed to share eCPMs.
We could give an average, but it wouldn't give a really good answer to the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they can reach.
Yeah. For example, I can just add up to what Berk has already said. If you're considering integrating ads in your utility app, for example, you can reach out to us. We can look at your daily active users. We can understand the locations that your application is working, and then we can give you precise estimations based on the numbers that you have. This is something that we can do, more like tailored and specific to what your request is. Yeah.
So one thing about eCPMs is eCPMs should never be the goal, because eCPMs fluctuate back and forth. It's not really important in the long run. What we mostly focus on is LTV, lifetime value of a user. As long as you're increasing your lifetime value of a user by 10%, 20%, that's a win for us. So rather than because eCPMs vary a lot based on country, based on the user base of where you acquired them, the age, sometimes even gender, what type of ad they're seeing. So it varies a lot. So I wouldn't focus on the eCPM numbers. I would rather focus on the lifetime value of a user that you've acquired.
Yeah, cool. Because we have some other questions about eCPM. For example, what is CPM for using ads by countries? I don't know if it's the same answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no one answer to this. I can't say like, oh, for example, in Turkey it's $5, in US it's $10. It varies a lot on a lot of things, as I said. So it also varies on what type of users you have. Sometimes maybe you have users that are more inclined to do some purchases. For example, they would have higher eCPMs, whereas if you have users that are, for example, 18 to 24 years old, they have a less purchase rate than, for example, for someone that's 40 or 45. So they would have lower eCPMs. So there's no like one size fits all for eCPMs. As I said, as long as you focus on your lifetime value of a user, that's what counts. That's why we wanted to focus on ad quality, because with ad quality, you can increase retention. And once you increase retention, it's inevitable that you would increase lifetime value. So at that point, eCPMs don't really matter for you, as long as you're making 10%, 20%, even 30% profit of a user.
I just quick add some things that Berk has already said. It all comes from the perspective of respecting your user. All of the things that we have mentioned really matter when you care about the user, about the LTV, about ad quality as well, because, you know, there has been different experiences in my daily life as well, where I was using different apps and you cannot close the application and you get irritated, then you just like drop the application and never come back to that again. So this is the experience that we try to really avoid and give, I would say, a complex approach with a lot of things that we care about, so that both the revenue balance, your eCPMs, and experience of the user, they are in a good place. Just like small comment from my side.
Thank you. We also have some comments like great insights, brilliant presentation, and a lot of questions actually. Great. The next one, when using Unity ads for mediation with AdMob, we can select the waterfall option. Bidding is the only option. Is this correct? And if so, will it be added?
So bidding is not the only option. So we have two options, which is waterfall, where you create certain bid points, and then we have bidding. Bidding is the more safest one because it's real-time bidding, and then different ad networks within the mediation platform. You can think of it like an open auction. This happens in like 0.3 seconds. Different ad networks bid to show your ad, and then the highest bidder wins. The other format is waterfall, where you create certain bid points, and then it asks one by one, whichever one matches, then you get it. It's best to have both of them at the same time, but bidding does most of the work now. But if it's always ideal to have waterfall and bidding at the same time.
Okay, thank you. And the other one, do you suggest to separate the audience as per different LTV and then push them to ads or paywall? I mean,
yes, that's actually what Arina kind of in detail explained. Through Firebase Remote Config, you can segment your users based on their behavior. This doesn't have to be purchase rate. This could be age, this could be country, this could be purchase rate, etc. Whatever you want. You create different segments of users and have a tailored approach. Having a tailored approach for monetization always works best. Rewarded ads is good for everyone because you basically give the option of giving a premium taste of something that you would have within the app through a rewarded ad. It's always good to have a limit because knowing your economy is what's important at the end of the day. But we have an in-house Firebase team that we work with just for this reason specifically, just to segment your users and understand what we can best get out for that user, not just for you, but for that user, how we can tailor the approach, how we can increase LTV at the maximum for that specific audience is always the best way to go. And we have an in-house team that we work really closely for that specific reason.
Okay, and we also have a comment like, I received some unexpected and helpful information. Thank you.
Thanks.
I love reading positive comments. And the other question, what is the average additional ad revenue that can be expected from mobile apps, for example, for utility apps again? But yeah.
So it depends on how aggressive or how you want to start, right? So some people, they just want to start with, let's just add one rewarded ad and then let's see. Some people add extra banners. If we go back to the ad formats, I can show you. So some people want to be aggressive, right? They want to go with banner, interstitial, rewarded, native, of course, through segmentation. Because, for example, what we've generally seen is purchases happen within the first week, right? After the first week, the purchase rate goes down significantly. So a lot of our partners, what they do is they keep the ad experience quite friendly in the first week. And if it doesn't, in time, it becomes more aggressive. So if the user is a 1 month user, they see it more. If they're 2 month user with no payment, they see a bit more. So depending on how aggressive you want to be, you could have 10%, 20%, 30%. So it's based on you, what you want to do. Of course, but keep in mind that the more aggressive you become, the more you will lose the retention in the long run. So I would say the average would be 10%, 20% to 30%. So it fluctuates in between.
I can also add, for example, with the examples that I shared in drama short industry, it can be from 15 to 20%. So I can only confirm Berk's words that basically it's 15-20% of the revenue that can be generated in your application can be thanks to ads.
Cool. And I think we also have some personal questions. Maybe I can ask, what is the best way to reach you out? I mean, LinkedIn, email, or because some personal questions, maybe you can help better on email, maybe.
So both is fine. You can reach out through email. You can send both us. You have your emails here. You can send both of us an email, and then we'll arrange a call with you. If you want, you can reach out through LinkedIn, however you want. So on LinkedIn, you can find us through our names by searching. I think this is our LinkedIn profile photos.
I'm a liar. My name on LinkedIn is with YU, not IU. I'm so sorry. I hope you still find me. It's BIRYU. Sorry.
No worries. But you can also send an email. You have our email addresses here, so we can set up a call and then have a more tailored approach. Sorry, we can't see you, so we can't address you directly. But once we have a call, then we can have a more tailored approach.
Yeah, because we had some comment like AdMob has limited my ad serving unusual search and this kind of VPS maybe.
Yeah, so ad serving limit is something that happens in the early phases mostly. It's basically that we can remove that just as an FYI. So please get in touch with us and then we can swiften the process of removing the ad serving limit. But what ad serving limit is that a lot of AdMob is a sign up tool that you can just sign up yourself and integrate with a basic SDK into your own app. And what we do is a lot of people are spending on Google Ads get shown in your app, right? So we have to protect the advertisers to some degree because they're spending money on our platform. That ad serving limit is just a way of saying, this is a new platform. Let's first understand what it is because, of course, not you, but there's a lot of bad players in the industry as well. So we have to first understand what the app does. That's why I'm saying, please reach out to us and then we can help remove that way more quickly. But it's basically a way of protecting the advertiser, which is also you if you're spending on Google Ads. Trying to understand, it generally takes around 1 week to 2 weeks to remove the ad serving limit. If it's going above 1 month, then definitely reach out to a Google representative and they can help you with that.
By the way, talking about tailored approach and everything, in case someone lives in Barcelona, next week I'm going to be there for an event, and there's also going to be an event where I will be a speaker. Also, you can reach out to me. We can grab a coffee, discuss your monetization strategy. Again, I can look in the numbers. So let me know, drop me a message if someone lives there.
Yeah, cool. Can I promote my SaaS using AdMob ads? Yes, I think. Right.
Can I promote what? I'm so sorry.
Can I promote my SaaS using AdMob ads? I mean, it's okay, right?
So,
the app.
So AdMob, there's no such thing as AdMob apps technically. It's Google Ad Network, meaning anything that you open, like a campaign. So the answer is yes, but it's not through it's not called AdMob ads technically. AdMob is Google's tool to show ads, and Google Ads is where you actually open the campaigns. So if you have a SaaS company, you can open a Google app install campaign, or if you have an app for your SaaS, of course, which technically is not the way for most SaaS companies. But the best way to promote the SaaS company that you would technically have is different ad formats like search or display ads. AdMob is generally for apps specifically. Apps get shown, but it depends on what type of campaign. So what is shown on AdMob is Google Ads app install campaigns mostly. But we do have the occasional videos of different companies as well. So it depends on what type of campaign you open on Google Ads. Long story short, if you want to, yes. If you have an app, you can show it on AdMob. If you don't have an app specifically, you can show it on different ad networks on Google, such as Google Search, YouTube. YouTube, I think, would be the best way for SaaS in general, in a more tailored approach. Or you can use the Google Web Network and target specific people in that sense as well.
Yeah, thank you. I also have a personal question. Maybe I can ask for the last question. Sometimes I see some subscription apps, they're using app open ads formats, especially when the user open it several times. I mean, maybe the second open. Do you suggest using this format, or do you have any insights?
Maybe I can start, and just in case Berk can also adapt to that. I was talking about in my presentation that we can actually see cases of using app open quite a lot, especially, again, drama shorts and other subscription apps. The only kind of rule that we have and suggest, don't put app open in the process of onboarding user to your application. So skip the first time a user enters the application, don't show an app open. But then after the user is already onboarded, you can actually do that. There is no harm, I can see, because you can easily close the app open, but still the revenue generated by the user that watches the application. And as far as I remember, this is a highly revenue generating ad format type, which can be really beneficial for you. So yeah, I don't see any issues here.
Just to add on that, all agreeing with, so for those who don't know what app open is, I'll do a quick intro about it. App open is the one that you see on the right here. What it is it basically monetizes your splash screen. So when you open your app, if you have even like a 5-second time of downloading the app in the background, you can monetize that splash screen with an app open. And then as soon as the app downloads in the background, you can see here on the top right in the app open side, on the top right, there's a button where you click, and then it sends you directly to the main page where you should actually land. So the best practice for this is if your app is used multiple times a day, if you have multiple sessions a day, let's just say you have 5-6 sessions per day per user, and they're non-paying users, then you can monetize the time when they're waiting in the splash screen through a native banner app, which will close as soon as the app is downloaded. It's not ideal to show it, especially on onboarding, of course, as Arina said, but also in like the first and second sessions of the day, if they've just opened the app for that day, maybe you don't want to show them up front on ad. But if it's like the third and fourth and fifth session of the day, it's a good way to monetize your users.
It's all the balance again.
Yeah. Thank you. I think we don't have no more questions. I just want to thank you again for your time, for your great presentation for today, and thanks for joining our webinar. I really like talking to you and getting questions from audience. It's a good sign, if you get lots of questions, that's how we track engagement. And thanks for everyone for joining today. We will be going and doing next webinars with our team and inviting great experts from the industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Murat, for hosting us, and see you.
See you. Bye-bye.